Good morning. Welcome. On behalf of the community of St. Francis, St. Martin's Parish, I want to welcome everyone to our interview today who's listening or watching. I'm pleased to welcome our parish administrator, Father Pedro Suninga, if I pronounced that correctly, who's going to spend some time with us today to allow us to get to know him better. He's been in the parish or living in the rectory for about 4 years now, but now he's officially part of our parish community, and I'd like to welcome him. Welcome, Father Pedro.
Hello, Beth. How are you doing?
I'm doing well today. How are you?
Here we are, as you see, in the office, working as is happening in the last few weeks since I'm
Yeah,
here. Okay, so let's
it's
start.
probably a busy transition for you.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, could we start off with a prayer, please?
Sure, sure. Good and gracious God, we thank you for the life. We thank you for this wonderful weather you are giving to us on these days. And we thank you for the many blessings we have received during these days for the families, for all individuals, all members of our parish community. Give us every day the eyes opens, eyes is open for being ready to see your work in our life. And we ask all of this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Okay. I know your schedule is busy, so I appreciate you taking time with us today. Let's start off with a few easy questions. Your name. You shared at Parish Council that you have two given names on your passport. Can you tell me the story behind that?
So the story is, well, it's a big story. It's very long, but just in few words, I can say that I was born in Guatemala, which is uh, going from north to south is the first country of Central America, and Guatemala was a Spaniard colony conquered in the about around 500 years ago. And in Spain, they used it to give two names to every person. So likewise in Guatemala, it was done that and like in that way. So my name is Pedro Augusto, two names, and I have also two surnames, which are the first one, the surname of my father, and the second one from my mother.
Okay.
But okay, my name was given by my father. He told me once that he gave me the name thinking of on an uncle who was named Pedro Augusto and who was who immigrated to Mexico.
Okay.
I didn't meet him, so I don't know he disappeared. We lost any contact with him. So there are many Zunigas also in Mexico. That's why.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, can you tell us then a little bit more about? So you had an uncle who was in Mexico. Could you tell us a little bit more about your family and the area that you're from? You mentioned the most beautiful lake in the world.
Yes, yes. My country is Guatemala. I was born in the western area of the country, and the city where I was born and grew as until I became 14 years old is called the city is called Sololá, which is called the landscape, the most wonderful landscape city in the country. And as you mentioned, there is a lake in that province called Atitlan. And the Atitlan Lake is called the most wonderful lake of the world. In fact, if someone was visiting the lakes in Switzerland, those are artificials, and the model they use to to build those lakes was the Atitlan Lake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I am the youngest of eight children, four girls and four boys. And I have 11 nephews and nieces, and six grandnephews and grandnieces. Um, most of all my family, all my brothers and sisters live in Guatemala, and some live in my city, and some live in Guatemala City, the capital city of the country.
So you're the only one living outside of Guatemala then?
Yep, I am the only one.
And as the youngest, did your brothers and sisters look out for you, or were you
They
the?
are they are still looking for me. Yeah, they are very careful, but also respectful because I am the priest. I'm the only religious in the member of the family. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And when you were a child, what activities did you like to do as a child?
Well, as I said, it was until I was 14 years old, living in my hometown. Yeah, my childhood was pretty good, pretty excited. A lot of experiences in during that time. I still remember. I am still in contact with many classmates
Okay.
at elementary school and high school also, and we chat a lot with them. With through social media, it's very easy now. So I was, we were always experiencing like the childhood of every person, and the most I was as a child enjoying was biking. I had when I was 12, I got a Christmas gift, a bike. So
Okay.
I was 4 years of my age. I was wow, excited going around the city and in the mountains. Also, I used that to go into the mountains.
Yeah.
Then about the sports, I grew in a very good education at school. So the most I was playing was basketball.
Oh,
And
basketball.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, go Raptors
Raptors.
always. Yes, first country, first title outside USA, and
Yeah.
I am glad about it. I am in Canada with a trophy, with an NBA trophy.
Have you been to a Raptors game or
No, not yet. I was invited from some families, but I was not able to go because I was always working and especially on weekends. Yeah,
okay.
I have hard work, and so it's impossible for me. But
And
yeah,
there's
I would like to do
the
that. Yeah, let's go, let's go.
there's the semi-professional league in London, the
Oh,
London
I saw
Lightning.
them.
You
Yeah,
saw them.
yeah, I saw them. Yeah, I was at the 3 years ago. I was at the opening season game.
Okay,
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah,
that's
they
great.
lost, but it was fantastic being there. And then I like also soccer. Yeah,
Okay.
soccer for sure. For a Latin American person, is especially youth people, they love soccer, And
Now
then
in Guatemala, do they call it soccer? Do they call it
no,
football?
football,
Football. Okay.
football. Yeah, yeah. Then after that, I started to travel when I was 18 years old, maybe. But anyway,
Okay.
in my childhood, I was traveling to some places, so I was enjoying that as a child also,
Yeah.
and for sure going to the church. I was educated
Oh,
as a good Catholic, and I was doing a lot of things also in my parish with many other kids like me.
okay.
I didn't be altar server, by the way.
You weren't
No,
an altar
I
server.
didn't like that. Yeah, in my home parish, that's for sure, which is the cathedral of the diocese. Okay, let's continue.
Um, so at age 15, you joined the missionary order, or you joined a Catholic seminary or youth group?
Yeah, when I started to think about my vocation, I started to belong to a youth group in my home parish, which is the Cathedral of the Diocese of Sololá. Now it has another name, but at that time it was the Diocese of Sololá. And from
Yeah,
there, we I started to be part of some retreats for vocational intention, orientation,
yeah.
and that I was 14 that time. When I was 15, I started to belong to a diocesan seminary in the diocese, and
Okay.
yeah,
That's
and
a
after
really young age. Did
oh yes, I started high school.
was it how did you decide at such a young age to
It's
join?
because of the kind of formation we have received in the parish,
Okay, so
belonging
it
to
was
the
mostly your parish priest then, or
no, it was youth group.
okay,
Yeah, the youth group. Mm. And then uh, yeah, that's the most of the starting. Yeah.
okay. And at parish council, you shared that you were part of the formation of your religious order and one of the first to be ordained as part of your religious order.
Yep. In fact, when I was uh, in uh, the diocesan seminary when I was 15 years old. Then
Yeah.
at 18 years old, I, with the guidance of he who was the founder of our religious community, um, we started the Missionary Fraternity of Mary, which is a
Okay.
religious order. And then he has sent me to Rome to study.
Okay.
And when I was 21, only 21.
Only
And
21.
yeah, then
A young man in Italy at 21.
yep, yeah, yeah. That was a very exciting experience. Yeah, that was incredible. It was incredible. I don't know how could I could handle all the situation, even especially for the studies. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a degree there, and it was a very 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 difficult time for me, but I did it 2 years studying in Rome, and then
So
for me,
did you pick up Italian first or English?
both of them.
Okay.
So after that, in the late 80s, when I was studying in Rome, then I went back to Guatemala to our seminary, and I was teaching there, and then I was teaching also in other experiences I have had as a priest. You had to know that the Missionary Fraternity of Mary was founded in 1985, and I am member of the beginner group then in 1986, I was I went. It was opened the seminary of our community, and in 1989, I was ordained as a priest, and I was ordained as a priest in the main chapel of our seminary. I was the first one
Okay.
ordained in that chapel, in the history of our for my community. And I am between the first 10 priests members of of the congregation. Okay,
And did you have your first mass at the Cathedral
of Sorola. Yeah,
of Savlan?
yeah. A few days after. Well, I did a lot of first masses because I was at that time I was working already in many other parishes where groups and the parishioners were knew me, and they were asking also for a first mass. Yeah, and we will have a kind of experience like that in nextly in our parish. I will talk about
Oh,
that later.
oh,
It's a little
okay.
surprise we are preparing with the youth group.
Oh, okay. Um, so you've spoken fondly about your time in Italy, and so the first time you were there studying to be a priest, and the second time was for missionary work. And I guess I was a little surprised when you shared that because and maybe it's my prejudice, I wouldn't have expected Italy to need missionary priests. Can you describe a little bit about the missionary work?
Yeah, in fact, my the second time I was the longest time I was in Italy was when, as a priest, I was sending. I was sent by my superiors to Italy, going back there, and that was 1990. And that year, I started a missionary work in the Diocese of Palestrina, in which is around 30 kilometers east from Rome.
Okay.
It's in the east side, and there I we started to have missionary work in 2 or 3 parishes, and that means that the meaning of this, the goal for us was having other priests as from our congregation to have to have them as a guests, to help them to study in Rome, like I did before.
Oh, okay.
And that means for us, we started to a missionary working all over the country because that time I'm talking about the 90s. There was a big lack of priests in that time, even as is happening today also.
Oh, okay.
So I started to we started to assist many parishes in Italy with the meaning of having to support our priests who were studying there, who are still studying there. We have 3 priests now studying
Yeah.
in Rome, in order to have them as teachers in our seminary in Guatemala. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's the kind of formation, a kind of formation we are giving to our seminarians, and that's why. Well, then you mean a missionary priest in Italy? Were you doing mission in Italy? Yes, I did for 26 years.
26
And
years. Wow.
yep, and that means for us that as there were especially after the discovery of America, there were from Europe millions of missionaries coming to America to for the evangelization of people here.
Yeah.
Now we feel like we are the answer Latin America is giving to Europe,
Right.
because Europe is it has a big need of evangelization, and that's the work I was doing for 26 years in Europe. Together with we arrived to be around 24 priests from my community working in parishes in Italy in 7 dioceses. Now we have
Yeah.
just 2 missions who are there are concentrated 3 4 priests working in 2 dioceses, and that's our presence in Europe. as a response to the many, many missionary priests who were coming from Europe to America to spread the gospel here. And that's the kind of relationship we have between continents.
Now, the 3 or 4 priests, does that include the seminarians, or
No,
are the
just
seminarians
priests,
just priests?
just
Okay.
priests. Mhm.
So we talked a bit about the seminarians and that you taught in the seminary in Guatemala. What was your main focus of teaching, and what advice did you commonly give seminarians?
Well, yes, for sure. I was teaching my first in the early years of my priesthood.
Yeah.
I was teaching in our seminary, and then when I went to Italy, I was first in the Diocese of Palestrina, and then I was in the Diocese of Palestrina. By the way, is a diocese with where Bishop Pauro was working as a priest in one parish, because his community, religious community, has a parish in that diocese, and that
Oh, small
I think
world.
yeah, and I think I have met him
Oh, okay.
in that diocese. Then I went to Latina, the diocese of Latina. Most of the time I was working in that diocese, and being there, I was teaching also in both dioceses. I was giving lessons to lay people in a
Okay.
kind of a school of theology and religious studies for lay people.
Okay.
And in the seminary, for sure, I was teaching about my specialty, which is dogmatic theology, which means
Okay.
all the dogmas. It means which means all the fundamentals of the Catholic faith, and that
Oh, okay.
yeah. And my master, my specialty, my thesis, my degree thesis
Yeah.
was about sacraments, as
Okay.
how to adapt the announce of the gospel through the sacraments in a multicultural society. Yeah.
Oh, well, you're
Yeah.
perfect for us.
Yeah. So I was. That means I was try. Well, that this is the fundamentals. Also, one of the final of the goals of in our constitutions in the Missionary Fraternity of Mary. One of the main missions is to create a meaning of theology studies in order to apply the teaching of the church to the current situation of faith in a social, cultural, and economic situation of many peoples. And that's we could do that during the years in many different countries. We are present in 70. We have 72 around 72 missions located in 11 countries around the world,
Wow.
and this is because the kind of teaching we are doing in our seminary is like uh, uh, trying to be not critical, but trying to take to make an analysis of the teaching of the church, the theology science, and apply that to the current situation, to the current life of all the people we are meeting. Yeah, in the seminary, um, I was I was teaching in that way in the many topics of theology science, especially sacraments, for fundamental theology, history of the church. I love history of the church.
Oh,
It's
okay.
I like that topic, and that's in few words what I was doing in the past years.
Well, then sometime we celebrated the 100th anniversary of St. Martin's Parish in
I
2012.
I know that. And next year is 110.
Yes.
We have to do something if I'm still here.
if COVID allows.
I'm pretty sure we can do that, something.
Yeah. So over the years, St. Francis St. Martin has been officially bilingual for the past 8 years. But prior to that, in our long, rich history, at least during my lifetime, and I'm not telling you how old I am.
No, please don't do it.
We've had the Korean community shared our space. They would do masses on Sunday at 1. The Slovenian community used our space. I think for a while we had the Hungarian community celebrating Mass. We've had priests from Australia. I remember we've had a priest from South Africa. We've had a priest from India. We might be hitting all the continents right now, except Antarctica.
Yeah.
And Guatemala by way of Kenya, which would be Father Jose. And now Guatemala by way of Italy, because if you've spent 29 years, when you came to Canada, then approximately 4 years ago.
4.5 years.
And that was came from Italy first.
I moved directly from Italy to here.
Okay. So we have this rich multiculturalism in our history, which fits with your order's goals. And you've spent 4 years at St. George's, which my understanding is largely an English-speaking parish.
Right.
What would you say are the common bonds that unite us in our Catholic faith? And have you noticed any significant differences?
Okay, that's a tough question.
I
Well,
saved it for near the end.
Sure. I will say the signs that unite all of us as Catholics, as members of the Catholic Church, for sure, prayer. And I am really thankful to the Lord to find a lot of people here in Canada who are very, very strong in prayer. Prayer unite. It's the first thing that unites all of us here in this area of Canada.
Yeah.
And for sure, in order to help all families, the sacraments are important. In fact, we are preparing a funeral service for a lady who belonged to this parish, to St. Martin's Church, for a long time, and she was parishioner of St. Francis and Martin Parish, and that's a big those are signs of the presence. Whatever matters our origins, we can be united in that way.
Yeah.
And then for sure the commitment to the church. I always find a lot of people committed to be and ready to like you are doing for all your life at this parish, and that's something that unites all of us. The commitment of people, the open mind, how welcoming they are. I have a great experience at St. George's, St. George Parish, about how welcoming the people are. It's not just the structure or the kind of groups they belong to, but they're how they feel members of the Catholic Church. It doesn't matter where they are. And then, especially the other sign of unity is the desire each one of us has in growing in our faith, because all life is on a space, is a field where you need to grow in your faith. And that comes just by the wisdom you are receiving from God. And all of this comes from me from two signs. One is visible, and the other one is invisible. The one which is invisible and we can see and we can have all over is the cross of Jesus,
Mhm.
which is something real that you can see. And the other part, which is invisible, is the Holy Spirit that you cannot see, as the gospel says. You don't, you cannot, you can feel it, but you don't know where it comes from. It's the spirit that unites the church, even in those on these days. The differences.
Mm.
Well, the first one difference is the language for sure. As the first one,
Yeah.
and let me tell you, for me, it was uh, a big and very enthusiastic experience to learn a language in order to be in contact with persons.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter for me how is your English or your Italian or your Spanish. If we have the same spirit, we will be always accord in the way we are doing together, and I think that's good. So language is something that make the difference in many countries, but the spirit is the same.
Yeah.
And then for sure the cultural views, the cultural origin. Yeah, you told
Yeah.
me before this interview you are an Irish origin. I am a Spaniard origin, and
Yeah.
we are here in Canada talking English and
Yeah.
communicating with many people now. This is our origin. It's differences that make us one anyway in Christ Jesus. It's a different history. I come from a family, a poor family for sure, but thanks to God, we always had a plate with food to eat every day. We have had a bed where to sleep every night, and we have had also all the educations we needed in order to become someone who was who can help and be committed to help the humanity. All my brothers, for example,
Yeah.
they are teachers, but there are
Okay.
many differences in between us in that way in a cultural meaning. But as I have studied, differences can make of us anyway living together
Yeah.
and share to each other even in the middle of our differences. For sure, uh, I have I have met three different cultures. The
Right.
first one, which is my origins, is Latin
Yeah.
American,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of members of this parish who are Latin American origin,
Yeah.
which means Latin America means from Mexico, which is North America, until Argentina.
Okay.
As a big part of this. Most of the American continent is around 70% of the territory of the American territory.
Yeah.
And then I was in Italy, which is Latin origin, but
Yeah.
the Italian culture, wow, it has a lot of rich and valuable signs that are still and is part of the many traditions we have in the church. And because Rome was the place and continues
Yeah.
to be place the place of the central point of for the Catholic Church. Peter is there, even,
Right.
and so and his successors are there. So so
But now they have a Latin American.
and one and the actual successor is Latin American origin. Can you imagine that? What a blessing we have as a Latin Americans. Yeah. And then I came here to North America. I already knew about the kind of culture and how the church is present in the North American culture. Also, I knew, or from many years ago, I knew. My first time here in Toronto was in 1987. Can you imagine that? I was making
Yeah.
preaching in some parishes here in Ontario in that
Oh,
year.
in 87?
Yeah, 1987. That was my first time in Ontario. Then I came back on 1992, I think, and
Okay.
then I was the last time before 4 years ago, coming moving here was in 2013, and I was like, as a guest here for 2 days in this parish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I knew where I was coming to live for 4.5 years ago. So knowing this North American culture, I am excited in knowing it, and I'm still in the process of knowing better. But it's wonderful. I like it, and I can adapt easily to this.
You like the cold. You're telling me you like the cold.
Yes, I love. Well, if I stay at home always during winter time, that's better for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm easy way in that way. So, with the weather.
Yeah.
So and that's it.
Um, so maybe my last tough question is that many of us are struggling in this ever-changing new normal that we're encountering. First, we struggled with COVID. Now the loss of Father Jose, and coming on the horizon is the family of parishes. Do you have any inspiration for us to help us navigate all this? I know on Sunday you talked about prayer. Is that one source we can use to help us come to terms with what's going on?
Yeah, for sure. Prayer, as you said, we need to pray in order to move forward as members of the Catholic Church and following the directions of the Diocese of London. And this is because along the centuries, the Catholic Church life was running and is running on the path to the kingdom of God. Church is walking, can never stop, is moving forward, is moving on, always. And through the history, we need always to be open to the many circumstances we have. We cannot stop to one side of the view, thinking that this is the right choice we can do. No, it's not. We need to move on always. And as it is for us missionaries who are moving on, even from country to another country, the church is doing that in spirit and life also. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the first step for me. And the second one is that the church is being always sign of unity for all human beings. And this is because the same Jesus himself wanted that way. Remember the prayer he did in the Gethsemane the day before he was suffering his passion. It was it's a long prayer, appears in the Gospel of John.
Yeah.
He asks for unity. like you and me, Father, are one. I ask you to help them to be one with me, unity. And if we go forward in unity with our prayer, celebrating the sacraments, being committed in all the things that we can organize in our parish, well, that's the way. That's the way God is asking to us. No matter our cultural, social, or economical origin, we can be one in Christ. And if we keep in mind all those these fundamentals, I am pretty sure we will continue being going forward in our parish life.
Okay. Thank you for helping us start on that journey of walking and keeping moving as we try and be united in our faith and in our love of God. So I thought I'd end this interview with a few fun questions.
Hey, go for it.
Off the top of your head, give me your preference. Tim Hortons, an Italian espresso, or a Colombian dark roast?
Oh, I found something that unites Tim Hortons and the Italian espresso. Can you imagine that? And
No.
I found it at Timmy's. So when I need a good espresso in the way I was taking every day when I was studying and when I was working in Italy, I have a latte.
Oh,
If you go to Timmy's and ask for a
yeah,
latte, that's
yeah.
in Italy, that's a double espresso with milk.
Okay.
So I found it. So I have it with me always. This is from
Well,
yesterday.
we have a number of parishioners from Italian origin. I'll be curious as to how they would rate it, but
And for sure,
um,
I prefer Guatemalan coffee, which is the third best coffee in the world.
the third best.
Yep.
What is?
The second is Colombian, and the first is from Brazil.
Oh, okay. Um, changing it a little bit at Christmas time. Would you rather be in the fresh fallen snow of Canada, a clear starry night, and a warm breeze in Guatemala? Sorry, that as a Canadian, that's my imagination of how
Right,
Guatemala
right.
looks. Or listening to the church bells in Italy.
Well, may I will correct the church bells in Italy.
Okay.
They love fireworks.
Oh, fireworks.
Yes, but
Okay.
I love Christmas with snowfall all the way. For me, the
Okay.
magic of having snow on Christmas is it's fantastic. I love that. It is not the first time coming in Canada. It was not the first time I was celebrating Christmas time with snow. In Italy, sometimes we have had some snow, but not
Yeah.
had here for sure. But we have had it, and I like celebrate midnight with fireworks because
Oh,
it's a tradition in Guatemala. But it's something that I miss a little here in Canada. But
okay.
yeah, but anyway, so my family always send me videos with the fireworks, and I celebrate that. But
Okay.
snowfall is my favorite for sure.
Good answer. Good answer.
One
Okay,
point
going
for me.
back to food for a sec. Pupusas, pasta, or poutine. I got the three P's in there.
Well, I like pupusas, uh, and that's a Central American food.
Yeah.
I love them. My first time eating pupusas was in the most popular area of San Salvador City in El Salvador.
Okay.
Yeah, uh, but there are many other plates, other foods in Central America, and my favorite is a grilled beef with black beans
Oh,
and rice. And for sure that's a Central American part.
yeah.
I make my own pasta, and that means I love pasta, but it's not
Oh,
it's not a necessity. It's not uh, a lifetime need for me to have pasta every day like Italians do.
okay.
But I love a plate of pasta, and it's easy for me to do a kind of pasta. And for sure,
Yeah.
my first time having poutine was at Bernie's in Byron
Okay.
4.5 years ago, and I love that also.
Okay.
So whatever you offer, that's good for me. So yeah, I love poutine. Yeah.
So going back to pasta, I forgot to ask, puttanesca, Alfredo, or Bolognese?
Uh,
Or just you? I know
well,
one of
all
my
the kind,
nephews just likes it
all
plain.
kinds, all kinds of
All kinds.
pasta. Yes, whatever. Well, maybe my favorite is the carbonara.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, bacon.
Yep. Yep.
Another Canadian staple is bacon.
Yes. Sure. 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 And it comes
Um,
very good here. The carbonara made from by Italian people. Made a carbonara like the carbonara is eating in Italy. It's good for with Canadian bacon.
okay. Where's the best pasta in London besides in the rectory at 46 Cathcart?
Pasta asciutta with tomato sauce made homemade, and the bacon for sure. Uh,
Okay.
a very good parmesan. Yeah, in 20 minutes I can do it.
Okay. I'll add you to my Uber Eats.
Good. Yeah, sure.
Um, Soccer, hockey, or curling?
Well, I said this before, so soccer for sure. Uh,
Oh,
and I was happy celebrating the Toronto FS winning
yeah,
the CONCACAF Cup a few years ago,
yeah.
and I sometimes I follow them, but not too much because I don't have too much time. Because my full of my the full time I offer for soccer is for sure Italian soccer. Yeah. So yeah, I like to follow soccer. Hockey. Well, I was in a hockey game. I saw the Knights playing at
Okay.
here at the
Yeah,
yeah at the here in London and
yeah.
downtown, and I really liked it. Yeah, the only thing is that I still have to learn about the rules.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, when I was there, we're looking at the attending to that game. I thought it was 4 quarters, but it's just three.
Oh,
It's just 3 times, and I saw everybody after the end of the third
yeah.
standing and going away. What's happening? The game is still going on. No, no, no. It's end. It's on. It's on. Yeah, it's 3 times. Okay. So
Well, I
I was
guess
like,
in my list to your, I should have included basketball
yeah,
because
for
that has
sure.
4 quarters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In fact, basketball, yeah, Raptors are my favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Before in years ago, my first favorite team was the Celtics. Was on Celtics because
Okay.
for Larry Bird,
Yeah.
and then I changed to Chicago Bulls because for Michael Jordan and all the team who were champions for 8 years in a row.
Oh, okay.
That was fantastic. I was in Italy in that time, and I woke up on the night during the night to see live the final games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning watching basketball, the NBA finals. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
now it's that well when the Raptors did it. It was I felt like when I was in 2006 in Italy, and
Yeah.
I went to see the national Italian team winning the World Cup of
Oh,
soccer.
okay.
Yeah, I saw the cup. Oh my gosh, that was amazing for me. Yep.
Oh, so in 2006, sorry, that just brings to mind the Winter Olympics were held in Italy in 2006.
No, no. The
No.
Olympics
Okay.
were in the last Olympics games in Italy were in the 80s, I think.
Okay.
90s. Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
so and I've changed your preference of cerveza, of beer, Canadian, Corona, or Heineken.
Well, you put me in a very embarrassing choice. Well, I am in Canada, so for sure now Canadian Molson all the
Oh,
way.
okay.
Oh yes, because it is similar to the beer we have in Guatemala.
Okay.
So the taste is very close to one another. So I prefer yeah. When I go to a restaurant or I have a beer here at home, all the way,
Okay.
always Canadian. Uh, Corona is good for maybe share a moment with young people, things like that. I can take it
It's
also.
one of our best sellers when we do a dinner
I
dance.
know, I
Corona is
know.
one of our best sellers.
Yeah. And then Heineken for a good pizza,
Yeah.
made in Italy. Heineken and pizza goes right good.
A wood fired oven,
For me?
a
Ah, yes.
pizza made in a wood fired oven.
Yeah.
For dessert, would you like tiramisu, maple sugar pie, or a rose con leche? Which, for the English listening, that's rice pudding.
Yeah, yeah, that's the right name. So arroz and leche is a remembrance for me from my childhood,
Okay.
but I never found an arroz con leche like my mom did when I was a child.
Yeah.
So whenever I like it, sometimes when I go to Guatemala City and I go around in the squares of the cities, we
Yeah.
sometimes find an arroz with leche spot, and so we can have some. But
Okay.
it's something which is a very so far away from my actual diet, so daily diet.
Okay.
But I love maple sugar pie for sure, and cheesecake.
Oh,
Yeah,
cheesecake.
oh yes. And then from Italy, I love crostatina, which is a homemade cake made with bread and what's it and jam,
Okay.
blueberry jam. Oh,
Okay.
that's my best. And if somebody from my former parish in Italy, my last former parish in
Yeah.
Italy, they are asking me, they know about it because it's a local, very famous cake they have.
Okay.
So crostatina, and I am still citizen of that town because I have also the Italian passport, so I am
Oh,
still in
so you
contact.
lived that long
Oh
in Italy that
yes,
you've got two passports.
yep, and I am still I still vote when in Italy there are
Oh,
elections. Yeah, I am still voting as it's in Italy. Yeah, and giving my rights as a citizen. Yep, that's it.
so when you retire, will you go back to Italy?
I don't think so. And
No?
this is gonna it's gonna be very difficult. Maybe visiting for sure because I am
Okay,
I have a lot of friends there.
okay. And I have one more for you that I added at the last minute. Wine regions, Italy, Chile, or Niagara?
Oh my gosh! Do you know the Niagara wine is very very good.
Yes.
But I know that in Niagara there were a lot of Italians building that city. So the origin of the Niagara wine is Italian.
Okay.
So I prefer the origins for sure. A good Tuscany wine, which is the kind of wine that they have there. Red wine is very, very, very good. Yeah, and for sure the Frascati white wine and the Veneto, the white wine from Venice is very, very good.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So,
that's for sure.
and so then, okay, we figured out a Heineken goes with pizza.
Right.
What goes with your pasta then? What would be your preferred
Oh,
wine with your
a
pasta?
good, a good. It depends. If the pasta has beef, a white wine is good.
Oh, okay.
If it has a pork or or
Carbonara.
fish, or fish is good. Red wine.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, good to know.
Well, that's it for my questions. I want to thank you for spending time with me today to allow us to get to know you better and know a bit about your background. And I look forward to seeing you again on Sunday.
Yep, on these days here with our celebrations, I really thank you, Beth, for
Yeah,
giving me this opportunity to talk with our parishioners, especially the English part, the English community.
yeah.
And see you around. See you
See
around.
you
Now you
around.
know me. You can decide, make a choice what you want to share with me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So have a wonderful day. God bless you.
You as
God
well.
bless
God
as
bless
well
you.
all our followers on Facebook
Yeah.
and our website. God bless you all.
Thank you.